It's okay to say no. Ladies, it is absolutely fine to say no. And you've got to get comfortable with saying no. You have to get used to saying no. And it isn't comfortable. It was uncomfortable for me for a very long time to say no. Why? It's just 2 letters. Why is it so hard for me, for you? Why was it so hard for me to say no? Why is it hard for you to say no? Well, I'll tell you why. It's hard to say no, right? Saying no is going to be your superpower. Let me tell you, saying no is going to be your freedom. It's literally going to be your freedom. You are going to be free of others' expectations of you by just saying no. That's just one aspect. How did we get here? Why is it so difficult for us to say no? Me included, for a long time of my life, I spent saying yes, never no. And anytime I said no, I never felt good about that situation, or the situation never turned out to be great. I knew my gut was telling me something. It was telling me I don't want to go. You ask yourself, why do I not want to go? Why am I saying no? Why am I saying no? Because there is something in your gut. Ladies, we have a gut instinct in us that has developed in a much higher intensity than men. We are more in tune with our intuition, with what our gut is telling us. These are actual studies out there, something to do with the left and right brain being emotional and logical, and we are obviously more emotional as women, and so we are more in tune with our instinctual gut instinct. And so when our body is saying to us, it actually is saying to us no, we will feel it. We will feel our body, like we'll have butterflies, we'll get nervous, you'll just feel your body wanting to say no to something, but it doesn't come out. You keep saying yes. You keep saying yes when you know you need to say no, okay? And the no comes from, when you're a child, and your parents tell you, no, you don't do that. It's deemed as something that is not a positive thing. And it sometimes can take us into adulthood where we know by saying no, these are feelings that you get, that you're going to be left out by your friendship group. You feel like you're going to be a problem. You feel like you're not cooperating. You feel like you saying no is just causing disharmony into whatever situation you're trying to say no to. And it's a very uncomfortable feeling if you're not used to saying no. Now, actually, this is completely a normal feeling to have, but it's actually not helping you in any way. And what I mean by that is that by saying no is you saying yes to your happiness and to your freedom of peace. Now, let me explain that. By you saying no, you're actually prioritizing yourself. You are saying no to the things you don't actually want to do. Because you don't actually want to do this. You don't actually want to go to this party. You don't want to go to after drinks at work. You don't want to even have that second glass of wine. You don't even want to drink, okay? You don't want to do whatever it is that someone's invited you or someone's asked you to do. You don't actually want to do these things. And you will know if you don't want to do it. So by you saying yes, you're actually saying yes to something you don't want to do, which is really not putting yourself first. It's actually not even showing yourself any love. It's not even showing yourself that you value your own peace. So why should it be given to you? What you're saying is, I care more about what others think, how this is going to be viewed on as me. How are they going to see me? What are others going to think if I don't turn up? Are they going to be talking about me if I don't turn up? Am I going to be seen as a problem now? The fear of missing out, the judgment, the guilt, These things have to go. Because every time you say no to something you really don't want to do, You are foregoing your own happiness to try and live up to someone else's expectations and validation and view on you. And you got to understand here in life that if you say no to something, this, for instance, i.e. a friendship group, and they can't accept that no, then that's not for you. That's not you being your true authentic self. That's not you actually aligned to things that you want to do. And if they don't like that, they're not respecting that. And by you saying no, you are respecting yourself, you are setting boundaries, and you're allowing your peace to come into your life. Because when we keep saying yes, it's overwhelming, it's draining, because you don't want to be there. It's something you don't want to do. So you need to stop putting yourself in situations that are draining you. And you have people, what will happen is when you start saying no, the first thing that's going to happen is people will start persuading you, okay? So they'll start persuading you. Oh, but it's going to be really good. And and this and this. Oh, you're going to miss out. You're going to do, okay. And that's when the no turns to a yes, right? You've been there. I've been there. You know the one. You know that situation, okay? But again, this is also, you're also not putting your happiness at first. You're actually being influenced by someone else's happiness. They want that for themselves, and that's what they want. But what do you want? You actually still don't want to go. So by you actually saying yes to that persuasion, you're going to get resentment to that person, or to that situation, or to that environment, and you will have resentment. You will just be there resenting this whole situation, and intrinsically you'll feel like you've let yourself down, because you have. And you feel that when you keep saying yes to something you don't want to do, and you're there, you're like, why am I here? What am I doing? Why am I, whatever that is, why are you doing that? Why am I drinking? I don't even want to drink. What am I doing here? I wanted to be at home. I wanted to be at peace. I wanted to do my gym. I wanted to stick to my diet. I wanted to do whatever that plan that you had, you wanted to do. You wanted to do that. That's what you wanted to do. So you are foregoing your happiness to appease someone else. And, this is why you've got to start getting comfortable with that no. It took me ages to get comfortable to say no, because it's harder than you think, okay? Especially when people put pressure on you, it's much harder than you think. And so getting comfortable with saying no is absolutely fine. And actually it's changed my life to an extent where I have so much peace and happiness now. Those two little, letters, N-O, no, gives you peace. Yes gives you stress. I'm telling you, it will just continue to keep giving you stress every time you keep saying yes to something that you don't want to do. And it's not just about that. What you're going to do is you're going to train your mind to understand that I am a person that can say no. You know what that equates to? That means that it shows that you are a person that sets boundaries for yourself. You're a person that has a value of your own peace and of your own happiness. You are a person that is prioritizing their life and what they want to do and what they want to achieve in their life. What it also says is I'm a person that respects myself enough to say no. And this will gain you respect, actually. I know you might think that it might put you off other people, but actually people will respect that. Respect your honesty. Because in a world where there's a lot of fake people and inauthentic people walking around here, to say no is you living in your authenticity and closer to your truth. And people will respect that. It may be that you might be the odd one out. You might be. Some might talk about you at first. Okay. But you are staying true to yourself. And that's what the most important thing here is in life, is making sure that you're staying true to what you want to do and are not compromising your peace. Why? It's not worth it. Trust me, it's not worth it. The amount of times I have said yes to things that I do not want to be, and I wish I just said no. And it got to a point where I was like, what am I doing? What am I actually doing? What I'm doing is I'm not prioritizing myself. This is not what I want to do. Why am I keep saying yes to things like this? Why? It doesn't make me feel good. It never made me feel good. Because I knew, and you know it as well. It's like, I really don't want to go in there. And someone persuades you, and then you're there and you're like, oh, why am I getting persuaded? And then you get roped into it, and you actually feel worse and worse and worse as whatever the situation is, the night goes on, or the day or the activity goes on. You actually feel worse in your that you've let yourself down and you've given in, because that's what you have done. You've given in to someone else's influence, or you've given in to that circumstance. And I think for me, I noticed that is a bit of an issue. It shows that I have a weak inability to say no. I have a weak boundary, maybe. I can't stick to them if I get influenced. I'm a people pleaser. I reflect on myself, like, what is wrong with you? Like, I'm literally people pleasing here, and it's just not a good habit to be in. And by me saying no, do you know what? It's made me more an assertive person, a more confident person. It's made me more sure of exactly of where I want to go in life. By me saying no, I know that these are the things that I want to go towards, and I'm telling you, it's giving me so much more happiness saying no. Giving me so much more happiness saying no. And it doesn't mean you have to say no every time, but there needs to come to a point where you need to realize saying no is a part of your peace. Okay? It is so part of your peace, ladies. This journey to peace is so important, and saying no to things that you really don't want to do, it's going to give you that. It's going to give you that peace that you need. And I can tell you from first-hand experience, no is the perfect way to go, okay, for that. Because when you say no, you've got more time to spend on things that you really want to do. Why wouldn't you want that in your life? You do want that in your life. And it's just we've been programmed to think that no is such a bad word, that no is not cooperative, that no is just, is something that is a problem. You're becoming a problem. You're not becoming a problem. You're prioritizing. That's what you're doing. By saying no, anytime you say no to something that you don't want to do, just remember me saying this. You are prioritizing yourself, and you are going towards your happiness. Because you don't just say no for no reason, okay? There's a reason why you don't want to go. So the next time someone asks you to go somewhere or do something, and instinctively you want to say no, you'll feel it in your body. You want to say no. So you've got to ask yourself, what are the reasons why you're saying no? The reasons could be, I don't want to be in that environment right now. I don't want to be around these people. I don't want to take on this particular amount of work because this is not in my realm of what I need to do. Because I'm focusing on my self-care, because I'm focusing on my goals, because I'm focusing, I want to stick to that diet I'm on. Maybe you just want to go home, have a bath, relax, listen to a podcast. Hey, maybe you just want to do things that you want to do, okay? And you don't need to come up with a million excuses. Let's get on to the next stage of no. Because once you start saying no, you do not also need to give an excuse to why you're saying no. No is no. It's very simple. We can all understand it, ladies, what no means. But to start off with, I would say it's not easy to straight go from being more of a people pleaser, saying yes all the time, to straight no. It feels very disconnected, and it's something that you have to practice. You have to practice saying no. And start off easy. Firstly, maybe just start, I know this might sound a bit crazy, but I used to do this. I used to go okay, I am actually going to sound like I'm a bit loony now, but I would literally like talk to myself in the mirror and have like a conversation and be like a particular scenario. And I would literally say no. And just practice saying no. Just no. Okay, no. And I'm telling you, it feels so weird to say no when you're not comfortable in saying no. It's a very odd feeling, okay? And you know, when someone asks you, do you want to do this? Okay, at first, maybe you don't need to do a straight out no. Start off something small. Start off with, you know, later. Maybe you can start off with that later. I don't know. Let me think about it and I'll get back to you later. Okay, so that gives you a bit of time to kind of pick up that courage to say that no. Even if that's over text, or even if that's, again, you're speaking to them, you can just say, I've thought about it and I don't want to go on this particular day, but have a good time and we'll catch up with something to do something later on and schedule for some other time. Or I can do this particular workload another time. Maybe I can think about it. And that's a good way of easing into it. But if you want to go straight into there, you really don't need to give any justification to why you're saying no, because actually that could put you back in a little bit of a trap as well, because you could say, oh, I don't want to go to this because I have no one to look after my kids. I don't know, I'm just throwing it out there. Or I whatever the thing is you've come up with, then you'll have someone come up with a persuasion tactic to be like, well, it's okay, you can bring your kids along, it's okay, we can we've got stuff here, it's okay, it's an always it's going on, like there'll be another way to influence you to come in, and that will be quite easy to disarm someone that doesn't frequently say no and is a people pleaser, and then having to say no again to that, it's quite difficult to start off with. So you don't need to give yourself an explanation, a justification why you want to say no. And can you see how that's a bit of a, what's wrong with saying no? It's okay. It's okay to say no. Okay. So sometimes you can just say no. Not right now. No, I'm busy. No, I can't. But have a good time, and maybe another time. And you can say it in a nice way. No, I'm going to. You can even tell the truth, actually. Just say the truth. I mean, that would be the most freeing part. Just say, no, I'm on a diet right now. I don't want to be drinking. I don't want to be eating this particular food. So I'm going to stick to my diet, but have a good time. And we can do something later, or we can arrange something, another time. And that's fine to say that. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with telling someone the truth that you don't want to go somewhere because you want to go to the gym? You don't want to go somewhere because you don't want to be in that environment. You don't want to go somewhere because you just want to be peaceful right now. You're on a particular diet. You're on a healing, whatever it is you're on. You want time for yourself. It's okay to say no. I want some time to myself today and relax. So not tonight. No, not today. It's okay to say no. For your mental well-being, for your ability to have more time to relax, to prioritize the things that you want to do. And you trust me, when you start saying no, ladies, you will find out you have so much more time to focus on the things that you didn't used to have. You keep saying yes all the time. Yes, the stress and the lack of time you have to focus on yourself, you will begin to notice. So saying no is so important. And you just need to start practicing this, ladies. I practice this now. So I even do it just to make sure, we're not slipping. But I'm quite good at saying no now, and this did not used to be easy for me. I spend my whole life just, trying to be a people pleaser, I guess, and it's not good for your own it's not good for yourself, it's not good it doesn't put you first. And what does that say about yourself? And it doesn't just trickle over to just friendships. the fact that you can't say no is, it will go into your workplace, it will go into your love relationship, it will go into many different areas of your life, because your inability to say no is your inability to set boundaries, is your inability to prioritize yourself first, is your inability to see that your happiness is more important than anyone else's happiness. It is. And it may come across a little selfish, but sometimes in life, you can't just say yes to everything. You have to say no to things to make sure that you have that time to recharge, to give to yourself, to have that time to do the things that you want to do. And I can guarantee you say no and you do the thing that you want to do, you'll feel so good. You'll feel like it's an achievement. You will start feeling, oh, I like this feeling. It's nice to be able to have so much time to do the things I want to do. And at first, you might start feeling uncomfortable about it, like I did. But what are they going to think about me? But, oh, I feel really bad. You start feeling guilty for saying no. But that guilt will just wear off. The more times you practice this, the more times you put yourself into a situation where you actually don't want to do something and you say no and you stick to it, what that reaffirms to yourself is that I can stick to things that are aligning for my best self, my higher self, what I want to go towards. And that it will give you confidence. It will give you confidence in all different areas of your life. And it sets the boundaries up. And it shows people that they have to respect your boundaries. And that is very important, even just not in friendships, in work, but also in love as well. The ability to say no to someone is very important. And it actually is quite an attractive quality to a certain extent that, okay, this person, wow, it shows to someone else that they, you value yourself, your time, and it's important to say that. So ladies, I just wanted to let you know it's so okay to say no. And in my 20s, it was the hardest thing for me throughout my whole 20s and even my early 30s, just to say no. It's only like the last 2-3 years that I can easily say no to someone. If someone asks me something and I don't want to go, I just be like, no. Just easy. It's just no. That's it. It's okay. It's more than okay. It's your right. When you say yes, when you say no, you are putting your happiness first. When it's something you don't want to do. Now we can take that no, obviously, in all different directions. But obviously, when you're just saying, no, I don't want to do that. No. Like, there's a different kind of no. And I think we know the no what we're talking about. But, use that no according to what you're feeling, And it will help you in a lot of areas of life. Not just, as I said, your friendships, but your workplace as well. They want to keep... Because the thing is, the moment you start saying yes to something, for instance, even at work... They want, oh, will you do this overtime? Oh, we can do this extra work. Oh, you don't get paid for it or anything like that. They just want you to do extra. And you can say, yes, it's okay. Yes. They know you have no boundaries. They don't respect that. They know that they can just give that to you. But they'll think about the person that they asked before you that said no. They now know the next time, who's the person we're going to go to if we want them to do overtime, let's go to her. She always says yes. Do you see how the lack of respect there is there? But the person that said no, I can guarantee you they respect more in a workplace setting. Now, obviously, a no in a workplace setting, you've got to be a bit like, you've got to understand the nuances. You understand your environment here. Obviously, if it's every now and then, okay. And if you want to do it, okay. But you're not obliged to do it. That's the point here. You are not obliged to do anything you don't want to do, to a certain extent. Obviously, if we're talking about work and things like that, you've got a job. Okay, you've got to do your job. But I'm talking about things that, like, even in friendships, after and they're asking you to go things that you really don't do, and you're doing things that you don't want to do, even in relationships, work, you've got to understand it's okay to say no, ladies. And I've been there. And I'm telling you, I've been there. I've been there for so long in my lifetime. So long saying yes. And it doesn't get you anywhere. It just delays your happiness in life, and it does not give you peace. It doesn't give you the level of peace, and all it does is gives you just, you're just basically prioritizing everyone else again. And it's 2024. Trust me, you don't want to spend your whole life just worried about what other people think because you're going to say no and you're not going to be there. So what? Because that's what I found in my life. And I found that really people are so much in their world anyway. People think they are the star, and that's what they think about. They think about themselves. They think about, a lot of the time, people are just worried about their own situation, their own thing. They're not really thinking of others. So, okay, at first they might, oh, she said no. Oh, okay, this is different, but they'll get used to it. And you'll get used to saying no. The more times you practice putting yourself in that situation and just saying no, practice in the mirror alone. No, just say no. Start practicing. I know it might sound crazy, but it works. It worked for me. It's going to work for you. And I can tell you my life has changed by just saying no. I'm telling you, it's going to be uncomfortable at first. You're going to feel guilty, like I did. You're going to feel very uncomfortable, especially when it's your friends, or especially when it's someone close to you. You're going to feel uncomfortable. But it will get better. The more you practice something, the more you put yourself in that situation, it'll just start becoming the norm, the habit, And that's that's what today is about, ladies. It's about saying no. So, ladies, next time you find yourself in a situation where you feel peer pressure, you're invited somewhere, you want to go, someone's asking you to do something, whatever the situation is in any realm, just remember my voice. Remember, it's okay to say no. By you saying no, you are going towards your happiness. You are prioritizing yourself. You are setting boundaries. You are being assertive. You are being confident, and you're going to things that you want to actually do. You're being authentic, and you're being your true self. And if people can't accept the fact that you can say no, then it's okay. They're not meant to they're not meant to be there for you. If your friends can't accept that you don't want to go and do something, it's okay. It's not what wasn't meant for you. Get comfortable with saying no. Be your authentic self, and the peace will start coming into your life. And I really want you ladies to try and practice this, because trust me, it's just fun to do, to practice, because you're going to be practicing a thing that you've never done before. It's going to start feeling comfortable. I'm telling you, the first time I did it, it's not comfortable. It's really uncomfortable. And but you'll get better, and you'll do it again, and it'll just start feeling, it will just become a part of who you are, is that you have the ability to say no. And it doesn't mean you have to lose your kindness when you say no, not at all. And it doesn't mean you're a bad person because you say no. It just means you're focusing on yourself, and you want to go towards things that you actually want to do. And life is about doing things that we want to go towards, that aligns with what we're trying to achieve, our goals, to recharge, to get our time back, reclaim your time back, because we live a very stressful life, it can be stressful at times. And so you don't need to overburden yourself with all these things by saying yes, yes, yes to everything. No is okay. So ladies, let me know in the comments below if you've been in a situation where you constantly are saying yes, or you are just that person that always says yes. And tell me, do you feel guilty? What are your feelings? And going forward, this is 2024, ladies. We're going to do it. You're going to say no. There's going to come a time, and you are going to be saying no, and you're going to do the thing that you want, and you're going to feel like, I feel free. This is what I wanted to do. This is relaxing. And it feels good to put yourself first. Trust me, it feels so good. So yeah, I know it can be hard, but you got this. Okay, ladies, thank you for being here. And if you've made it this far, I appreciate this so much, because this is really, it just gives me so much enjoyment to come here. I live alone, and just to be able to speak just to speak here. And I feel like I'm speaking to you ladies, and it's just amazing. And that, I have other women here that in the comments, when I see a comment, it just makes me feel like, yes, this is what we're here for. So I really want this channel to grow. As I said, I'm trying to be as vulnerable as I possibly can. It's also taking it, I'm also, there's some uncomfortability with me being vulnerable in certain videos. You can go and see some of my other videos, and I will continue to try and be as vulnerable as I can. And I'm sure as it goes on with more videos I make, then hopefully, this will get more comfortable for me as well. But, it's important that you're vulnerable. I'm vulnerable in the way I'm speaking my experiences. So, we can connect and see the truth there. And that's important, So, yeah. Please subscribe, ladies. I really want this channel to grow. And I appreciate every single one of you. And it's okay to say no, ladies. Okay. I'm going. But have a nice day, evening, wherever you are. And it's a Nana journey. Peace.